Hey guys, this is Nate from 5 years ago, and in this video, I was talking about a dish that I replicated from an anime called Shokugeki no Soma. From the series Shokugeki no Soma. This series has an over-the-top approach to contemporary dishes that even I at first wasn't sure if these meals were legitimate or not. But after listening to them in the anime explain the science behind preparing the foods and lots of Googling, I decided that there's only one way to find out. With that being said, kicking off this episode, I'm going to attempt to cook the Chaliapin Steak Don, which debuted in episode 7 of the anime and chapter 13 of the manga, where Soma Yukihira faces off against the meat master Ikumi Mito in a Shokugeki cook-off. The Chaliapin steak is an original Japanese steak. It is a dish made in 1936 for the Russian opera singer Fyodor Chaliapin when he visited Japan. So at this time when he was visiting Japan, he had a toothache and he wanted to eat something tender. The dish was devised to answer his request. I'm trying to make this as accurate to the anime as possible. I got myself some beef sirloin steak. They have rice, which I'm going to try right here. They have sticks of butter. I use unsalted butter, so I have Land O'Lakes unsalted butter. I have the onions, black pepper, and salt, which is the basic archetype skeleton to making this thing. Then we have Soma's twist to it. All of this, I should say, is in episode 6 where he's making it and then he understands it. Now in episode 7 when he actually does the wars, he adds some other things to the mix to give the judges the foodgasmic experience. He adds red wine. I'm going to try red cooking wine. He has soy sauce. I'm using the Tamari gluten-free soy sauce, potato starch, and this guy that I just picked up, Umeboshi Paste, which is also the pickled plum paste. I live in New York, so I picked this up in 5th Avenue and 41st Street at a Japanese mart called Sunshine Mart, and we have this here. Now granted, I'm not as nice as this guy, so it may take me a little bit for me to cut up this onion. Following the steps, he dices the onion, so I'm going to try dicing these onions also. And then also for the steak, he sliced the steak in a grid and then he mallet it out with a mallet. I think I have a mallet somewhere here. And who knows, if this thing comes out to be a success, then I've learned something new. If it comes out to be a disaster, then I guess I'll just leave this to professional. It's always good to experiment with something new. Now, I'm getting ready to prepare the beef now. They didn't show this in the anime, but what I'm going to do is just rinse it off. Get the excess blood off or any other things that I don't want in my food. Maybe I wasn't supposed to rinse it off. I probably should have just left it as it is, as I've seen in the anime. But I'm going to rinse it off. Next thing he does, he slices it in a grid pattern. So I'm not sure if he lightly slices it. So I'm just going to just slice it. I'm not going to go too deep. I'm not going to cut it into pieces or chunks. But I'm just going to slice it just enough so it's in the grid as I've seen it in the anime. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have the little sniffles. Onions is making me cry, you know? It's that time. Alright. Now let's grid it up. I don't know if you can see with the onions in the way, but I am making or attempting to make the grid as best as I can. Alright, so the next step, as what Soma did in the anime, is that he pounded out flat, I guess, to tenderize it more. And I think the grid patterns to create some openings so the onions can seep through. I got my little mallet here. I'm going to start pounding away as he does. I pound it out. Next thing I should do, I'm going to take these onions and I'm going to cover the front and bottom with it as instructed in the anime. Hopefully that's good. A big piece of steak. Get on top of that. Oh yeah. Number 2. I should note that they don't let you know how long you're supposed to, I guess, let it sit on the onions. I think 15 minutes is a good number. I'm going to do that. Come back in 15 minutes. Let's completely cover these guys. Alright. 8:13. This is what I got. Sort of not completely covered. Ran out of onions. But let's let it sit for now. Like I said, I am going to try to make it as close as possible. Okay, so my 15 minutes is up. Right now, there we go. There goes my YouTube guide. Not YouTube guide, but the anime guide. Alright, so next step for me to do is now remove the onions and season the meat with salt and pepper. The purpose of the onions is that they contain enzymes that tenderize meat. So we're actually looking for a nice soft sirloin steak at the end of this. Here we go. It's black pepper time. Let's season this bad boy up. Make sure we got the sides. It's salt time. Not so much. Okay, there we go. This butter is actually waiting for a while. It wants to get in there. As you can see, it started melting. That 15-minute wait. Let's put this in there now. Come here, butter. Get in there. Get in. I'm going to use my judgment on how high I'm going to make this. They don't specify too well in the anime where your stove should be. I mean, it's an anime for entertainment, so they don't tell you everything. My stove goes on the scale from, I guess, high to low, 8 being mid-high and 2 being the lowest. So I'm just going to put it somewhere like 6, in between, like 5. I'm going to scoop the butter in there. Yeah. I'm up to this part now. Apparently the butter is still there. It doesn't have completely melt. See that? See that? Well, it's not sizzling yet. As it's sizzling and it's making its beef juices, I'm going to start preparing the rice. Water for my rice. That's just sizzling here. I'm going to make right now is the cornstarch. I had to look online how to make it real quick. They say 1 cup and like 2 spoons of potato starch. That goes into the juices, the beef, when I'm done. Oh my gosh, the effect is already starting. It smells good. That's a good thing. I'm doing something right. It's the bottom. Alright, I'm probably going to flip over. I don't think he flips yet. I'm going to flip this over. Ooh. Take 1 scoop. Put that in there. The steak is sure taking a sweet time. I want to eat that thing already. So far so good, guys. So far so good. It's starting to really look promising. Red wine and the soy sauce. Soy sauce has to be burnt. That's what this girl says. Not to mention the flavors are rounded off with burnt soy sauce. Alright, so I just removed the first steak. Grid-wise, it looks pretty alright. It is giving a nice smell. I am going to do the other 2s that I have here. Put another stick of butter. And then when I get all the juices together, then I'm going to start making the Soma sauce. I'm up to the last step where I put the onions into it. Before I do that, I have to deglaze the pan with cooking oil. There you go. The red wine is inside the sauce. Next step is the cornstarch, according to what this guy is saying. Put the rice on low. Dang, it made a hole into it. Oh, wow, it thickened it. Science. Wow. Wow. It instantly turned it into a gravy. Wow. Okay, they really know what they was talking about in this anime. Wow, you learned something new. Cornstarch. Look at that. Look how gooey that thing is. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't throw it all. Starting to smell real nice. It's really starting to smell real nice. Is it like a mixture of like bread with, I think that's the, not cornstarch, potato starch. It's like a bread smell with, oh my gosh. I'm going to throw in some soy sauce now. Not to mention the flavors are rounded off with burnt soy sauce. Alright, so, there we go. The soy sauce is burning up. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Alright, so I'm up to the last step. I think I might have messed up by putting a little bit too much cornstarch. I actually just should have just used the teaspoon as I seen on the anime. I added a little water, but I think I should be alright. The rice and the bowl, and I'm about to sprinkle some pixie dust on this guy. Here we go. Alright, let's see. Look at that. Oh man, see, I might have messed up again. I probably should have pounded it the way how I felt, because I thought it was going to turn into a pulp. But apparently, according to the anime, the way how they describe it, they say that they want it to slither down your throat as if you're drinking it. I didn't put too much pressure and it's a little tough. Let's see anyway how it's going to work out. Like I said, I'm not Soma, but directions work out. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Alright. This is what it looks like, my attempt at it. There's no gooey sauce, it's more thick because I add too much potato starch. Well, like I said, they didn't exactly say it, but in the anime they showed the spoon pouring in episode 7, so I probably should have just used a teaspoon instead of like pouring, I guess 1/4 of a cup, because this is 1 cup here, and I put in 2 tablespoons of the cornstarch. So I probably should put in like, I guess, as it is. Alright, so I want to have a designated tester. I want to test it out first. I need chopsticks for this. Right, that's how to do it. Alright, there we go. We got the chopsticks. No, it doesn't cut the way how they do it in the anime. Well, it was a great try. I want to see if I get that experience that all the judges faced, including Ikumi. So let's see. Wow! I kid you not. Wow! Wow! Wow!
Get a great deal on the Amelia all-leather sofa, now $799. The Crestwood or Dubwood 7-piece dining set, just $999. Save big on the Tribeca Queen bed, only $299. And the Wentley 7-piece aluminum outdoor dining set, $999. Get special financing on the furniture purchase of $499.
Yeah, my brother has a straight face. He's the type of guy who's on Gordon Ramsay status, so he doesn't really like. For him to say that, I think I did a good job. All right, let's conclude this up. So, it came out as delicious and not a disaster. I realized that there's certain things I did make a mistake on, but nevertheless, it did come out good. So imagine if I didn't make a mistake and I made the meat just as tender as Soma did in the anime, then I think I'd be reaching A+++ status with a whole bunch of gold stars over it. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. I would like to hear suggestions of what you want me to do for the next episode. Just like, comment, subscribe. The more likes I get and suggestions that I'll get, then I'll consider doing the next episodes. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the next episode of Food Wars. This series has an over-the-top. The Chaliapin steak is an original Japanese steak. It is a dish that was made in the 1938